Alright guys, so I'm going to be doing another comic review that was sent to me by my good friend Chris, aka the Mount Vernon Kid, and today we're going to be talking about Future... This is the first Future State book I have reviewed. This is the first one I've read, and it's kind of neat. I don't have a lot of Wonder Woman books. I've been meaning to dose up on, or, collect more of the Wonder Woman comics. So this was a nice, sorry, I fucking hate this chair. I swear to God. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, Wonder Woman. So this comic was basically my first foray into the Future State books. If you guys remember, not too long ago, Future State was basically a big thing about, how we were going to do 5G, but not really. And then it led to what we have now with Dark Crisis, and Dawn of DC. But it's really half-assed. It was more or less like the half-assed ideas that Dan DiDio had, books from there that were like half-ass ideas. And it was more like, could these be ideas we do in the future? Could they not be? It was a lot of this and that back and forth. So what this is a compilation of all the Wonder Woman, a majority of the Wonder Woman titles in the series. We all focusing on different Wonder Woman and ending with Diana herself. Of course, the big two in here that we focus on is Nubia and, of course, Yara Flor. Let's talk about Nubia'S story first. Nubia'S story involves her battling Grail, Darkseid's Amazonian daughter, that was the thing, and Cersei from unlocking a doorway to an ancient primordial world. We also find out that her aunt is Anansi, which, alright, gods can be whatever they want to be. How many times did Loki turn himself to a woman again? I'll wait. And I'm not talking in the comics, I'm talking like in Norse mythology in general. So we have that with Nubia'S story is pretty fun. I'm really excited to see where they... I really am happy that Nubia is like... No one hates Nubia. That's what I like, is that I've heard very little backlash about Nubia from anyone. Like, everyone's like generally happy to see Nubia be a Wonder Woman. So I think it's been long overdue. She has been Wonder Woman a few times over, so it's nice to see her get more of the spotlight. Her story is pretty all right. The thing is like they're all two-part stories that are just meant to be like, can't be continued. Maybe you'll see it in the upcoming timeline. Who knows? Yeah, it felt more like the problem with these Future State books I've noticed is that they're more like two-part stories and more like pilot episodes for these characters. That's what Future State it feels like by the end of it, is that it's more like pilot-ish. It's more like pilot episodes for each character. Not to say that's a bad thing, but yeah, it's just more like, hey, check out these characters. Yara, I understand, like, some people don't like Yara, mostly because Yara is kind of impetuous, impatient. That's the same word, never mind. She's impatient, she's headstrong, she's aggressive. But you know who else was? Korra. Yeah, literally, like, I read this character, and people were like, I look online, like, oh, Yara is so impatient, she's so, like, aggro, and, like, all of this and that, and I'm like, oh, so she's Korra. Yeah. I've watched Legend of Korra. Yara is literally Korra. That even like I imagine Janet Leigh's voice hearing the character. Like I just kind of, although I know she's from a tribe of South American Amazonians, which I kind of wish we got more of in here rather than a story of her looking for her sister in the underworld and going through that whole story. I kind of wish we got more of that than the main story, but it's pretty fun. We get to see more of Yara hang out with John Kent in the Superman Wonder Woman Future State two-parter, where they battle Solaris the Sun Tyrant, and that's pretty fun. It's a pretty fun one. Solaris is always a fun villain. He's also a difficult villain to do, but when he shows up, it's kind of like treated like Galactus, so that's pretty fun. I do like the friendship between Yara and John, though. It's a lot of fun, and I really do like that, of having him, Yara. I just want to see the three of them. I want to see him, Yara, and Damian hang out as like the new generation, the new Trinity. I want a mini-series of John, Damian, and Yara all hanging out and fighting together as like the new Trinity. Is that too much to ask? I feel like I'm asking too much. But no, that's a fun story. Then we get to Immortal Wonder Woman, which focuses on Diana in the far future, dealing with the end of the universe. Batman is long dead, Superman is old, and even the new gods are dying off. It's kind of a story we've seen before of like this ancient entropy-like entity consuming all of the universe and all of that, and now Diana stays the way. I feel like it's not too dissimilar from the Black Winter story in the Donny Cates Thor run. But yeah, it's very. I really loved Immortal Wonder Woman. If you were to ask me what was my favorite of them all, it'd be the Immortal Wonder Woman story. That one felt like a two-parter. That didn't feel like a pilot. It felt like a complete story, and it really did feel like a magnificent Wonder Woman story in of itself, of showing Diana who she is as a character. Because I feel like a lot of people forget who she is like some aggro, angry woman, and I feel like that's not her. A lot of people don't realize that, and Injustice didn't help in that spotlight either. But this story was very beautiful. It was a very beautiful story, and how it ends. It's also fun to see like Diana hang out and call people friends. Like when she sees Batman's spirit and and says like, "I've missed you, my friend," and wears his like utility belt as like a sign of honor. And then you have like her and Swamp Thing. That's a heart wrencher right there, where where her and Swamp Thing befriend one another, and even she hangs out with the Spectre. It's a lot of fun. I do think Immortal Wonder Woman is the best one, but that's not a discredit to the other stories involving Yara and Nubia. Those stories honestly felt more like, Superman Wonder Woman felt more like a complete story, whereas Yara and Nubia's stories felt more like backdoor pilots to something else. I would suggest getting this. I am very curious. Chris has told me that he's going to be sending me the other Future State books. I'm looking forward to like the Superman Batman ones as well as Suicide Squad. Those all look really cool. But yeah, this was a strong start to reading some Future State trades. So, Chris, thank you once again for that. And you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of Future State Wonder Woman if you've read it? Just comment below, let me know. And once again, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.